Andrew, we've got a lot to cover. The end of the weekend podcast, the Sunday night edition.
Sunday night edition.
We had the Kentucky Derby. I don't know if you watched it.
I did. My horse
was
came in last.
Yeah, mine. Mine's going straight to the glue factory.
One got shot.
we got a snap fraud. Imagine that. That's weird, isn't it? We also got somebody else trying to fuck around Trump's grounds, which just seems like a dumb idea. And we got all that and more coming at you. Coming to you live from the One More and I'm Out of Here studios. We got another weekend edition of the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast.
There's a lot of room in here tonight.
We are minus one.
Minus one very large individual.
We are minus one. Dano Carroll, who is enjoying the beaches, I believe, of Hilton Head.
He's on vacation.
Somewhere.
He's on vacation.
Somewhere in South Carolina. I think it's Hilton Head.
Dano, we miss you.
We do miss you, buddy.
Not true.
I'm not sure when you come back.
Not
I
true.
think he comes back Wednesday or Thursday.
We miss him like a rash. There's a lot of room here. He takes up Dan is not a small guy.
He's got a lot.
He takes a lot of room. It's not a fat joke, Dan.
And I'm sure when you're not here, he probably says the same. And I'm sure
what he says about
I'm
me.
I'm always hear this.
I'll
just say it to my face.
I'll say it about me myself.
How was your weekend, Andrew?
Every day's Saturday, so what difference does it make?
Well, that is true for you.
I'm just perusing. I'm having fun perusing the internet. I'll tell you, it is.
Well, that is your everyday.
No, I mean for the most part. I
mean, you got to be careful because you might get carpal tunnel.
I doubt it. My thumbs are practiced,
and we can't.
Years.
And we don't. We don't have
professional.
We don't have workers' comp here. So.
Don't try this at home. I'm a professional. So, how's your weekend?
It was good.
You have a big week coming up.
I do.
I don't know if most
you have it. Well, you kind of have a big week, but you've secured your victory already.
I'm undefeated.
That picture actually made me
did it?
So Andrew is also running as a precinct executive for in
Hamilton County.
And he posted a picture of his ballot of it shaded in. It was just him. He was like, I have secured victory.
Victory is mine. The funny thing about that is, so someone sent me that picture. Somebody voted for me and sent that to me. They're like, I voted for you. So I posted it. And then I get a text from somebody. They go, it's against penal code, blah, 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 to post a picture of the ballot. And I'm like, I didn't take the picture. So if you want to
go through the metadata
and find out who posted it, and probably they go, it's a class 5 felony. I'm like, I bet you can probably fight that in court and be like, that's my free speech. Right. You're sitting there in the ballot box and you take a picture of you voting for yourself, or someone sent you a picture of them voting for you. I bet you that wouldn't survive a court challenge. It might be for some reason. There might be a law in the book somewhere that's a class 5 felony, which is probably not, it's not like a misdemeanor.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, go ahead.
Right. You want to waste your money and time.
You want to do it, have at it.
By all means.
No, but Jason is going to be on the ballot here in Anderson Township for Anderson BB. And if you do live in Anderson BB, and if you don't know where that is, I can't help you, but it's around Jason's house. But
some of the states area.
But what I would suggest is that you, on Tuesday, get out and vote for Jason Kiefer to be your precinct executive. We have 2 people running. This isn't a negative contest. 2 people that want to do good for the party. But I just think that Jason is ready to step up and serve the role of precinct executive. And I would highly recommend. We have another race in Anderson Q, which is another contested race. It's a bit different. That race is That race is 2 write-in candidates, and that is a much more different race because you literally have to know the person's name and write it in, on a line and legibly, which takes some people out of the mix. But we have Stacey Moore, Mohrer, I believe Moher or Mohr. It's one of the two, but Stacey is running for precinct executive in Anderson Q. And I highly suggest that folks get out and vote for her. So Jason and Stacey are really the only 2 contested races that we have. I will say this: most people don't know this. Everyone likes to bemoan. Sorry to be Anderson centric here for a second, but I'm gonna be Hamilton County centric here to expand the universe.
Expand the universe
just a bit. So everyone likes to say, the Democrats all stick together and Republicans, we like to snipe each other. And there's a certain degree of truth to that because the Democrat Party is nothing more than a bunch of, what's the word I would use? Very, very, very
gross.
Well, yeah, but I mean, very different. It's a collaboration. It's like a collaboration of a bunch of different special interest groups, I would say. That's how I would classify it. You have your gay rights, you have your trans rights, which are different. I don't see a whole lot of whatever. I'll just get in. I mean, if you want to discuss that, whatever. You have environmentalists, you have, blah, 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 blah. You have toenail fungus people, but at the end of the day, they have in Hamilton County, the Democrat Party, I think it's like almost every precinct executive race is contested. I want you to think about that for a second. There's a lot of, so in Anderson alone, where we live, there's 33 precincts. In Hamilton County, do the math. I mean, there's a lot of precincts.
Yeah.
And almost a vast majority of them are contested. And what you're having, and a lot of people aren't reporting on this, but, because the press, obviously, they're for the Democrats, but what you're having is a radical takeover by the young, what I would call communist / socialist wing of the party is trying to take over the Democrat Party. So they're having to beat back. I don't know what the Democrat Party is going to look like after this precinct executive, this primary season, because that's when number one, that's when you elect your precinct executives. Mm-hmm. And some people call them central committeemen. And then those central committeemen then get together, meet, and determine the direction for the party. You elect a new chairman, and they will be a new chairman this spring for the Republican Party. I don't know about the Democrat. We'll see. But that's how stuff starts in your party. So if you're wherever you're listening from, near, far, wherever, I highly suggest you get educated. You have a couple of days to do a crash course and see who's running in your area for central committeemen, and decide what you want your local party to look like, and get involved, because it does make a difference.
And that's what I talk at the firehouse all the time. And I work with a lot of younger guys and gals that, have maybe voted once or twice.
Yeah, they don't know.
And
I'm not disparaging them. They just don't.
Right. They don't know. And it's having those conversations of, instead of just going and voting in a general election, get out and vote in May. Do your research, but be an informed voter. Don't be uneducated when you go to the booth. Know what you're voting for, and how that's going to affect your life and what you want. And it's amazing how many people just they aren't informed. And again, not disparaging, use your words disparaging. They're just ignorant to it. And it sucks because it all starts at that lower grassroots level.
So I went a long time ago. So like when the Tea Party started, God, who was it? It was Rick. Rick's probably listening.
Rick James?
No, it wasn't Rick James. It was Rick.
Fuck your couch.
Rick. Anyway, we remember when the Tea. Well, you don't remember. You're too young. But so the Tea Party started, and I remember going to a meeting at the. We had it in the a room at New England Club. Go figure, right? A bunch of old people at New England Club, and it was Rick.
Rick doesn't work here anymore. So
I know, but I'm just trying to fucking. I getting older. I'm forgetting last names. But anyway, great guy. And he did a whole presentation, and we were like your young firemen. We were like, what's that? what's that? And he's like, look, you want to take over your party. You want to direct the direction of your party. Run for precinct executive. So in Hamilton County back in the day, what it used to be was, and I think we did that to a large extent. But in Hamilton County back in the day, nobody wanted to be. Look, nobody knew what precinct executive was, and a lot of people still don't. But they're getting educated.
And I think BB hasn't had one, according to somebody, for 25 fucking years. It's been vacant.
So yeah, I am, Falk. I'm getting much older. But so yeah, BB, you're currently unrepresented. So what that means is, when it comes to the party, you have no voice in who the party nominates or gets behind, and you're basically unrepresented within the Republican Party to a large degree. After this election, you won't be, because one of you are going to win, but and I hope it's you. But my point is that that's how you get. That's like the precinct executive, central committeeman, precinct man, whatever it's called in your area. That's the first rung of the political ladder, and that's how I got my start in politics. I was just think maybe in a few short years you can rise to the prominence of a locally elected official,
a janitor.
No, you can be a trustee.
Maybe potentially. I don't know. There's a lot of
skeletons.
There's a lot of skeletons in that closet.
I'm sure there probably are. But I mean, I saw the. Trump tacitly endorsed you with that photograph.
It was amazing.
It's like magic.
You did great.
It was like magic. I had nothing. Donald just reached out. And he was at Doral today, and he said,
I had somebody shoot me a text, and we're like, "Is that picture real?"
Of course, it's real. Let me tell you something.
Me and Donald Trump standing right next to each other. Yeah,
it's only a lie if you don't believe it,
right.
Or it's not a lie if you believe it.
You gotta love AI.
So anyhow, it's the first way you get
fun with it, though.
You have to have fun with it. And listen, this is the first way, people. I can remember my dad, God rest his soul. My father would be, my dad would be watching the news every night, and the news hasn't changed much. It's always been a leftist slant for the most part. It was better maybe with Cronkite, and that's the way it was, right? But I can remember my dad yelling at the TV, "Yes, son of..." My dad would just be going off on the TV, like, because they'd be either misrepresenting or slanting something. And I was always like, there has to be something, or reading the paper. Oh, God forbid. You didn't want to read the Sunday paper with my dad. Oh my God, it was something else. But
my grandpa's the same way.
It was, but you're like, I want to make a difference. This is how you make a difference. This is how you get started. This is how you get involved in your party and you determine direction, because you'll be able to, if you win, and I'm hopeful that you will, you'll be able to stand up in the central committee meetings and say, "Hey, I don't think we should endorse this guy."
Right.
People say, "How does the party decide who to endorse for races?" And this is how you determine. I'm changing the logo. No disrespect. I made both, so I like this one better.
God, your fucking ADD is just amazing.
Not, but I made these. Look,
it's amazing to me.
So anyhow, so let's hope Tuesday works out well.
Yeah, and wherever you are, like Papa said, get out and vote.
Get out and vote. Tuesday is the election here in Ohio, primary. Here in Ohio, we have a lot of important races. If you want to know how I'm going to vote, send me a text. I will tell you that we had an event here last week. Not we, but the Young Republicans brought Vivek Ramaswamy to Anderson Township. I got to tell you, I mean, you didn't go, and I'm sad that you didn't. You said you're busy.
I would have loved to have been there, though.
Well, let me tell you something. So just a brief aside, and maybe we have a lot of people. Maybe we have a lot of people that are. I mean, if you're in Ohio, bear with us for a second. So Vivek Ramaswamy, young billionaire.
Well, and he ran for president, so everybody knows who he is.
He did.
But, I mean, he was out there. His name's out there.
His name was out there. But anyway, so I've seen a lot of people run for office. I mean, I've been around, and
that's what you said.
And I've seen people. When you open up the floor to questions, you always run the risk of there being the douche. Okay.
Yep.
And I'm not saying this guy was a douche, but some guy had a question, and I don't, no disparagement to the guy. It was, in his mind, it was a fair question. I think it was a fair question, but I didn't think he expected the response he got. So they got a question. The guy goes, "Look, founding fathers were all Christian, and they said, be wary of voting for someone that's not Christian, which is not what the founding fathers said. But and I'm not disparaging the guy. The guy believed it, and the guy, I think it was genuinely, the guy's question was like, look, you're Hindu, why should we vote for you? Okay.
Yeah.
And Vivek goes, I mean,
he's so smooth.
He's so smooth, and he's so freaking smart. His recall is boom, boom, boom. He goes, let me ask you a question. He goes, what are the 10 commandments? The guy, and I was like, shit. I was like,
oh, we're going here.
Hey Siri, what's the 10 commandments? I was like, oh, look, Siri's looking it up.
I know, I was waiting for my phone to go off.
So, the guy's like, and the guy knew like 3 or 4. The guy's like, thou shalt not, and thou shalt not be, and honor the bleh. And I was like, okay. And Vivek wasn't trying to be a dick. He goes, look, it's okay. He goes, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but here's what the 10 commandments are. Boom, 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 boom. Reads all 10. Because remember, he went to St. Xavier High School, a Catholic high school. And he said, and then he goes, and Thomas Jefferson was a deist. He wasn't Christian. He was a deist. I don't even know what a deist is, but that's what he was. And I guess that means he believes in God, but not any specific God, maybe. And then he said, and George Washington was an Anglican, which I don't know the nuances of that. And then he said, and Madison was this. He said, and I'm not running to be head of your church.
Right.
I'm running to be head of your state. And I believe that, in this and this and this. And it was such a good answer. And it was such a powerful answer. I was like, and I'm not usually at a loss for words. I was like, God damn. I was like, damn, man, that's a good answer. I got to remember that. So anyway, that's what's going on here. That's what my weekend was. That was earlier this week.
Yeah, and that's huge. That's huge for Cincinnati.
Yeah,
huge for Anderson Township.
Yeah, so I'm supporting Vivek for governor. I'm supporting,
and that was the Young Republicans.
That was the Young Republicans. Had nothing to do with our club, but that was the Young Republicans. And they had, the nice thing was they had the Young Republicans. A lot of Young Republicans were there behind him, and man, there was a young kid there that just got elected to Benjamin Nguyen, Nguyen, is a 28-year-old kid that was just elected to the school board up in, Pickup School District just north of here. He was there. I met him. Nice young man. There was a lot of, you see a lot of these videos and pictures, and these young kids are like, they've got like whatever, and they've got, some might have blue hair or piercing or whatever, and they're all like, they're kind of like, what do you want to be? Oh. These kids were they're driven. These kids are driven. They were sharp. Yeah. It almost restored my confidence in the future. I'm like, you guys are going to be paying for me to sit on my ass. So thank you.
Yeah, make healthcare affordable.
My
healthcare.
Just make sure that you continue to pay into the system, because in a few short years I'm going to be on Medicare and my ass is going to be sick.
So yeah, this weekend. So yeah, Vivek being down here, had the Kentucky Derby yesterday. First female trainer to win, which I think it's pretty cool.
It's cool, but
it's fucking history. Just deal with it.
Cool.
Deal with it. You're a chauvinist.
I'm not a chauvinist. I was like, okay, I guess this is the angle we're going. I thought
it was cool.
I watched that. I watched it. I just watched it. Did you have money on it?
No.
Okay.
I had $5 in like our little neighborhood.
I was actually hoping the jockey with dude wipes on his freaking shorts was going to win. So I was like, that is the best freaking, everyone was like Jeff Ruby Steakhouse, right? And then I saw this jockey up there and it was like dude wipes. And I was like, yes, that's the guy.
That's my guy.
That's my guy.
I can't remember the horse that got scratched. It was losing his shit.
And then he fell on his back. Yeah. I read today they had to euthanize. That's why I said they had to euthanize a horse.
Was it that one?
It was not that one.
Okay.
It was a horse that broke 2 legs during the race.
No shit.
I didn't see that. I just read it online today. They said, and I don't think I'm fairly certain it was not the horse that won, but they said are they all male horses? I don't know the deal. I don't know the thing.
I believe so.
Okay,
I believe so. I'm not a huge horse race guy. This time of year.
What I found a little bit sickening was after the race they had Andy Bashir on there because he's the governor. He's like, in Kentucky. I'm like, it's not a political speech, buddy.
Right.
He's like, we've had 4 quarters of growth. And I'm like, okay, it's not a political speech.
Shut your mouth.
Shut the yapper.
It's funny story. Jill refuses, and she talked about it on Kiefer in Therapy the other day, but she refuses to watch a horse race because she went on a work trip down to Keeneland, I think, and or it may have been church. I don't know, but she says every time she watches a horse race, the horse ends up fucking dying. So our friends Jeff and Melissa have a party every year. So like last year when the race came on, she turned her back and was looking at the street because she refuses to watch it.
I remember that one. I think it was a year or two ago. There was the Derby and like they were on the infield and they're like putting a horse down. Remember?
Oh yeah, they put the fucking target like
the big tent comes around and they're like, kill the horse. Yeah. I'm like,
somebody's getting more dog food or glue. We're not sure which.
I'm not a bit. I got to be honest with you. But then I was laughing because I didn't know what we were talking about. But it jumped out at me. I was listening to the broadcast, and they had the NBC had the British woman interviewing everyone after the race, and I'm like, look, they're trying to make this a classy event. They've got a woman with a British accent, and she's the MC for the event. I'm like, dude, it's a bunch of freaking drunks down there.
I was going to say, they don't show the infield because there's titties and fucking beer everywhere.
That, but there is. I've never been to a Kentucky Derby. I heard it's a lot of fun, but my observation, and forgive me if you're a horse person, I don't mean to offend you. It's a bunch of people that are just plastered out of their mind. They're acting like, they're wearing silly hats, which the hats are great, I suppose. It's tradition. Let me get a mint julep. But I mean, it's a bunch of drunks acting like they're more sophisticated than they are.
Our buddy Dexter Pitts, when I went down to go hang out with him, he used to work for Louisville Metro, and he showed me. I had never been there. Like I'd never been down in that area. Churchill Downs is in the middle of a fucking ghetto.
Oh, I went
straight up ghetto, and I was shocked.
I went to a game at UK. I went to a basketball game. Is it Rupp Arena?
Yep.
And I parked by there, and I was like, I hope my car's there when I get
He said the people will pay, the people that live there, they'll pay them to park in their fucking yard, and then they'll come out and their car's on blocks because they stole their rims and shit.
I would just tell you that I mean, no disparagement to Kentucky, but that area around UK was pretty rough.
Oh, it's
a beautiful state. I love Kentucky. The people are very nice. The chicken's good.
He also showed me where Murder Chicken Row is, and he goes, "You cannot come here by yourself without me."
Oh, it's that bad. Oh wow!
So he calls it murder chicken. He's like, it's the best chicken you'll ever have. But if you as a white dude by yourself, he was like, you're not coming out.
It's
fucking hilarious.
I think I saw that it was the first female trainer. Yada yada yada. I mean, it's a lot of build up. It's almost like your wedding night. It's like you got the all big pageantry, and then boom, it's over.
Or it's like every night. It's the fastest 2 minutes in sports. Fastest 2 minutes, and that's with a sandwich.
Jason's prowess here showing.
It's with a sandwich.
So we have a not necessarily a light show, but there wasn't a whole lot we were digging up tonight.
Yeah. So I'm going to jump out. I'll pull first. The food stamp.
Yeah, this was a great story. So Jason, you read the headline.
Food stamp fraud crackdown at USDA would end a loophole that lets Ferrari Lamborghini owners get benefits. Which
so they did. All they did was cross-reference. All they did was cross-reference USAID recipients to the cars that they had registered, and I think you have a picture of the different cars. I thought I sent you a picture.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so
check these. Sharing two different things.
I know.
No, you're good.
So check this out. I mean, this is telling, and I find it offensive as well. So if you're on USAID or food stamps or whatever, one of those chip cards, whatever the thing might be, you might have a problem, or you might think this might jump out at you. Bentley? Fucking Bentley? I mean, are you kidding me? 3 Bentleys, 3 Ferraris, 11 Lambos, which are, I don't know what the entry-level Lamborghini is. I know they have an SUV that's pretty much made by Audi. It's probably their more affordable Lambo. Maserati's not a cheap car. Porsches, I guess you can say it's a glorified Volkswagen. That pissed off a bunch of Porsche drivers. Alfa Romeos, I don't know. You got to get your testosterone checked if you drive that kind of car.
Yeah, 244 of those.
Land Rover, overpriced piece of garbage. Don't care who you are. They're just an overpriced piece of garbage. And the most popular, shockingly, and a fairly expensive car is 2,000 Teslas, which are not cheap cars. But I mean, they're not inexpensive cars. They're more on the pricey range. I don't know what the new ones are. But
what I didn't realize, and I was listening to Drinking Bros,
SNAP benefits,
and they said that if you buy a Tesla, Elon like does his own financing. So
there's in-house financing,
and it's a way cheaper rate than what the typical rates are. Like for you and I to just go and if we shopped it around.
I pay cash for cars.
Well, I don't have that ability.
I said that for 513's benefit, just to piss him off.
But no, it was, and I didn't know that. But apparently the rates are a little bit lower. But still, like you said, Teslas are not cheap.
It could be that. It could be a factor of a couple things. It could be that that's a pretty smart business move to make sure he sells more cars, which Elon Musk is not a dumb person. The other thing is, it could be that banks might be reticent to loan you money on an electric car for some reason, given that. Oh, they catch fire every once in a while.
Oh.
So I mean,
and burn forever.
Burn forever. I mean, you're a fireman.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys. I mean, how much water does it take to put out an electric car?
Oh, it's too much.
And they don't really go out.
Yeah, they just reignite. So it got to the point where the fire service actually developed what they call a fire blanket for all these electric cars.
Oh, so you just smother it
and you just put this fucking blanket on it.
Let it cook.
But the blankets are like 3,000 a piece, and you can only use them once.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Jeez.
But it's changed the fire industry just because of this.
He paid cash for his beater too.
Hell yeah. Let me get
nice
into
to
this.
know. Hey, thanks for listening. It wouldn't be a show without you there.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture is wrapping up efforts to crack down on food stamp fraud nationwide, targeting what officials say is a loophole allowing some wealthy individuals to qualify for government benefits.
Seems like a lot. 14,000 is a lot of wealthy people.
This Brooke Rollins posted on X that a single state has 14,000 individuals on SNAP benefits.
Yeah, that's one state. And I don't think the article ever said what state it was.
It didn't. Well, I think it gets into it. I think it's Cali, but
probably
who also drive luxury vehicles like Ferraris, Bentleys, and Lambos. Let me get down into this because I was reading it right before you got here. She says they're getting very close to fixing this issue.
The loophole, closing the loophole.
We found 500,000 people getting more than one benefit illegally. We found 244,000 dead people. This is just the red states. Roland said about what she's discovered.
Oh wow!
Going through the data.
Was it? Then it wasn't Cali.
But further down in here, it talks about California, but this obviously turned it to nationwide. They've arrested 895 different people in the last year for illegally using the food stamp system. And of course, now we're talking about what's happening with that money. USDA data shows 4.2 million fewer food stamp recipients during President Trump's first year in office as the administration continues to crack down amid reports from all across the country that food stamps are being misused.
Listen, and I saw that some of them were bitching that some of the recipients are bitching that they've tightened what you can buy with the SNAP benefits. Personally, I do remember the days when it was, staples. It was not Coke. It was not candy.
I saw a video and I was going to play it, but I'm like,
no,
I'm too close to retirement. I'm not doing it.
And I'll tell you this: I know probably the direction that video went in, and it's not necessary. The simple fact of the matter is look, they've made it so easy. So I know some of the guys up at Kroger because I talk to people, and I know Jeff. You know Jeff up at the Kroger, he works checkout line.
I don't.
Anyway, Jeff's a great guy, and
I don't grocery shop.
Anyhow, I do. And so Jeff's a great guy.
I'd rather hit my dick with a ball peen hammer.
No, it's easy. It's fun.
No,
whatever.
And click lists.
And so he said, so what they've done now used to be food stamps was way different back in the day. Now it's a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
So you go in, nobody knows. The checkout people know because they know it's different. But you swipe the card and boom, 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 goes through. It's just like credit card. There's no stigma to it. There's no nothing. Not that there should be. There honestly, there really shouldn't be. But
no, I'm all about the assistance.
But the simple problem is, as a taxpayer, I think as the one paying the bill, I think that I should be allowed some say in what my tax dollars are being spent for. And so if I have someone on assistance, look, if I'm feeding your family, I don't have a problem, meat, fish, vegetables, staples, right? Mm-hmm. Staples. I do have a problem if you're buying
the 5 food groups.
Well, I don't know what they are. I didn't know there was going to be a test. But my point is, I didn't know. I'd have a problem if you're buying candy. I have a problem if you're buying soda. Because number one, that's really not healthy for your kid.
What about Newports?
No, you shouldn't be buying cigarettes. That's my opinion. I think that I then, as a taxpayer, have the right to say, I don't think my tax dollars should be supporting that. I think, and plus it makes the dollars go further. You know, we're giving you sustenance. We're not giving you, that's not sustenance. And then on the flip side, I'm going to catch you when you have diabetes, and I have to then support you because we have to lop your foot off because you've been drinking Faygo and
Right.
fuck Reese's. I mean, it's not cool. So I saw some SNAP benefit recipients complain, well, they're limiting what I can buy. Well, yeah, and if you're buying, and what kind of, let me ask you this. If you're on that, I don't know, maybe we're different. I have no idea,
like
but
Falk just said, she goes, I'm on EBT and my car is a 2018 Ford Focus. I must be doing something wrong. Where is your Lambo, Falk? That's what I want to know.
my deal is, listen, I have no problem helping people. None at all. I'm the most, people that know me, really know me, know I'm one of the more generous people you're going to meet. But at the end of the day, there's only so many federal dollars to go around, right? And I think these systems are rife with fraud, and that's another reason I support Vivek, because he's made a lot of statements and comments, and he was involved with Doge a little bit in the early days. I wish Doge had come back. I wish there was a Doge for every state,
for the state level. Yeah.
Every state. We see what's happening in Minnesota. That state is rife with fraud. We were told it doesn't happen in Ohio. I doubt that's true. I'm just saying the programs get to be so big, and government, a government entity, they don't do zero-based budgeting. They say, what did we spend last year? Let's make sure we spend all of it, or else we're not going to get that in the budget next year.
Everything that I've heard. Like I went to a FEMA class in Texas in College Station, and
College, a big firefighting school.
Yes, and that place is amazing. But they literally said, hey, your per diem it was like $75 a day. But they fed us, the hotel fed us breakfast.
Yeah.
They brought in lunch.
Yeah.
So we had $75
to blow on dinner.
And they're like, spend every dime of it, because come the end of the fiscal year, if we don't, we're not getting as much.
We won't get the budget.
And
that's a problem.
And I did that. I did the same thing when I was budgeting at my other fucking fire department.
Yeah.
I spent every fucking dime, because if you come in under,
that just shows you don't need it.
You don't need that much.
That's a problem.
But even though costs of everything go up every year, they never go down. They always go up.
They always go up.
3 to 5% roughly.
I will say that that's a problem, and so I hope that the next governor, I don't think Amy Acton would do it. I'm just still puzzled. I am absolutely amazed that on the Democrat side, and that some people, how should I say this? Some people are going to actually consider voting for Amy Acton, the chick that sat there in her,
put you in your own prison,
sat there in her lab coat, right? And acted, and she is a doctor, but she's not. I mean, she's a doctor, but she's not a practicing physician. But by being in that lab coat, and Vivek did a great job explaining, he's like, you put her in a position of authority by wearing the lab coat every fucking day. They remember it was like every day they had a 2:00 press conference. And they'd trot out there and they go, we're only going to close for 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Remember when they said that?
Just flatten the curve.
How long was school closed? Like 2 years? I can't remember. Public schools. Cincinnati Public Schools was closed for 2 years.
It was a long time. I don't know exactly. I didn't know that. I mean,
it was closed for about 2 freaking years. I mean, that it just puzzles me. Everyone forgets about the lunacy of COVID, and the simple fact of the matter is they knew then, and the data is coming out now and shows that they knew then. One of Fauci's, I should have sent you the article. I'm sorry I didn't, but one of Fauci's Fauci's cohorts is actually being prosecuted, and they think he's going to flip and start testifying because
I think he's already starting to blow the whistle.
Yeah, and he said, "Hey, listen, here's the emails that show that we knew this, we knew that," and they said, "Don't talk about it."
And they were told to delete emails.
Correct.
Which you cannot delete federal emails.
I mean, that is a crime. And Fauci, that prick. I mean, I'm sorry,
and he's got immunity, so
I think he should be in jail.
Yeah,
I don't think you should. I think you should revoke his pardon or whatever blanket immunity that Biden gave him. It was probably signed with the auto pen. God knows who signed it. I'd like to see Fauci prosecuted, in jail, because I think that what they did to our country was absolutely positively criminal.
Oh,
they knew that
it fucking turned it.
They knew
completely.
they knew the population most at risk was the senior population, but they treated a young child, or not young baby, I don't want to say baby, but they treated adolescent children the same as a 90-year-old adult, and the risk factor was not there. And no, I'm not a doctor. I'm quoting doctors, so please don't pretend like, oh, Pappas is quote. No, I'm quoting what I've read, and I just think that will, in hindsight, that's going to go down as one of the biggest test run. Let's see if we can get people to freak the fuck out and do what we want them to do. And
guess what? It worked. It fucking worked. And being in the first responder realm during that, it was crazy because all the amount of government money that was given to different municipalities across the country. I mean, we had pallets of like liquid IV dropped off,
dude.
But all the masks and stuff. So then when I questioned, and not in a negative way, I'm like, well, which one are we supposed to wear? Because I had, regular surgical mask, then an N95, then a respirator.
Wear them all.
And they're like, well, it's through no fault of anybody. I'm not blaming anybody. Nobody knew.
They just were throwing money.
And they're like, well, wear what you feel comfortable wearing. So, well, I'm like, well, wait a minute.
When I was at that was during the pandemic when I was in office, and one of the things they were throwing money at municipalities, and they were like, okay, you guys got to get rid of all your hand towels dispensers, and you got to go with airless. So we had to hire contractors to come and run electrical and put all these Dyson hair dryers.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, being a business owner. Yeah.
Well, no, that was.
But I'm saying you as a business owner were going through it.
Oh well, I was getting written up every other day,
right?
Right, by the local paper, because I was conservative, and I was like, stick your fucking masks up your ass because it's 5,000 degrees in here. We're not wearing a mask.
Right.
They're like, Mr. Pat, and I would have people that came in. You're not wearing your mask. I go, lady, it's 130 in here, and there's not a dry spot on me. You want to check? And she's like, well, I'm going to report you. So we had the snitch line. Hamilton County had a snitch line.
Oh yeah.
And then some weasel would come in. They go, well, your business has been reported that you're not mask compliant. I'm like, well, shut me down. I really don't care. I don't give a shit. So then they trot over to the paper, and some zit face at the paper would be like, they wouldn't say just business owner. They would say Anderson Township trustee, Mr. Pappas, who owns the business at blah, 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 this business has been cited for non-compliance with the COVID vaccine mandates, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't care. Fuck off. The other thing is, in our businesses, especially one on Beachmont, we have 4 garage bay doors wide open. It was like you were outside. Where's your mask? I'm like, I'm fucking outside. But whatever. It's fine.
But I mean, it all collates to the fucking fraud that's out there. I mean,
so much fraud, and I think if they ever and like I said, I've said this before on this show, the PPP program was designed to remove. They just made a cut, and I'm not saying it was wrong. They said, do we have all these businesses, fire all these people, and then have them apply for unemployment and chew through that federal bureaucracy and create, a huge, imagine if how many people would that have affected? A lot, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't think that the system was designed to handle that many. So they said, we're going to just turn the employer into de facto a representative of the unemployment administration. So we're going to give the employer X amount of dollars, but he has to keep his people employed and he has to pay them. And I did that. And the PPP money went for rent, your employees, and some of your overhead. Didn't go that far. So we were losing money, because staying open, we're not making enough money to stay open. So, and the PPP money didn't offset that, but I was employing people basically to stand around. And they knew that, and the government knew that. And if they ever go back and audit those companies, there were so many, and you've heard of reports, a lot of people formed fake companies.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people provided fake payroll data, because you didn't have to. I told you, I went into the bank, I had a binder full of my payroll reports, and the lady goes, what is that? I go, well, I'm telling you, my payroll is $295,000. This is the backup to show that those numbers correlate. She goes, We don't care about that.
I don't need to see that.
We don't care about that. You know why? You want to know why?
Never mind the man behind the curtain.
Well, but do you want to know why? The banks were getting a percentage of what PPP money they were loaning out. I mean, so they were just pumping money into the.
Well, then, and then you can take it even further into the fraud spectrum of fucking hospitals.
Oh my God!
The amount of money that the hospitals got, and
did you die of a gunshot wound? Yeah, but he was COVID positive. Put him down as COVID.
Oh, he took his head off in a motorcycle crash,
but he had COVID.
He had COVID.
Oh yeah,
we swabbed his nose.
Where his nose was over there. His body was over here.
It was so fucking gross to see it, like on the healthcare side of it, man. It was so gross to see it.
Hey, look, it's going to go down in history as one of the biggest fuck ups that we've ever done. And to be fair,
it's either one of the biggest fuck ups or one of the greatest fucking smoke and mirrors that's ever been.
It was a practice run, and people fell for it. And no disrespect. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20. And Donald Trump was president, and I do think that Donald Trump got bamboozled. I will say this to this day by Fauci and a few other nefarious characters in his first administration when he didn't have the experience that he has now. And I think it was mishandled. I really do. I believe it was mishandled. I agree with that. Preemptive blanket pardon should be brought before SCOTUS. I think they should be, and I think that they will be. And I think especially the ones that were shown to be signed with the auto pen, because you don't know, you have no idea. No one knows who is signing those. Right. Nobody knows. But hey, whatever. It's water under the bridge now. And we're dealing with it because, the reason I mentioned that is you mentioned costs. Everything's going up. Well, those dollars were so inflationary. Of course, the cost for everything going up. Right now, we're suffering. Look, I'm gonna probably please 513 here. I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm gonna make a bold prediction. You want to hear my bold prediction?
I want to hear it.
Gas is now just under $5 a gallon. If
it went down 10 cents from yesterday after I filled up.
It went up like 70 cents in one day.
Right.
I was like, what blew up? And but no, here's my prediction. If Memorial Day is like at the end of the month, right? Close to the end of the month. Mm-hmm. If we don't get this situation rectified, squared away, the Iran Straits of Hormuz, the whole 9 yards, and I do think I'm on the fence. I'm not on the fence. I support the operation because I think someone had to do something to nip Iran in the bud. I really do.
47 years in the fucking making.
I do. And I think this is a small price to pay. But my point is, on the flip side, this has to come to resolution, because if this drags out very, very close to the election, and I don't know if that's July or August, I don't know when the date is, but I do know that I have the utmost empathy for families that are struggling right now. And $5 a gallon gas is really, really hard on families. $5 a gallon gas, we need energy. We need cheap energy. I would say cheap, but I'd say affordable. This country runs on gasoline, diesel. I'm sorry, it does. Yep. It doesn't work on solar. You can blow smoke up your ass and think it does.
We got a quick
That's why I'm segueing into it.
We got a quick story about that.
Look, renewables, I think those windmills are a scarp on the land, and we've got a story here. You want to talk about fraud and waste? Why don't you share the headline with this thing?
Which one? This one?
Yeah. This is out in Cali. I think Nevada or somewhere. It's out there.
It's west. Mojave Desert.
The Mojave.
Obama-era clean energy solar power plant still uses fossil fuels and kills thousands of birds annually.
6,000 birds annually. They're closing this place down. This is the place with the mirrors that focus. They had like a big mirror array that focused all the energy on one solar. That's the tower.
This thing's in the middle.
Yeah, and the bunch of mirrors. Those are mirrors all in the background.
Hold on, there you go.
Yeah, so this is.
It looks like something out of Star Wars.
It does, and it was killing birds. 6,000 birds a year were dying. So if I'll put it this way, if my business was killing 6,000 birds a year, they'd lock me up, throw away the key, and I'd be in jail. This thing was billions. I think it. Does it say how much money it lost? It was either 2 billion or a couple of hundred billion. I don't. And but you're like, well, what's the difference? A lot.
More than a decade after it opened, the Obama-era taxpayer-backed clean energy solar plant in California still burns fossil fuels and kills thousands of birds each year.
How much money?
Let me roll through.
It does. It does somewhere in there. But so this thing's actually closing down, and this is just another example of waste. So listen,
phenomenon known as solar flux.
Solar flux. So I think it was like they were
that?
melting some sort of $2.29 billion. 2.29 green energy boondoggle leaves taxpayers on the hook. So
Here you go. The project was built with more than $1.6 billion in federally backed loans, leaving hundreds of millions of dollars still outstanding as environmental concerns continue to mount. In addition, the U.S. Department of Treasury provided a $539 million grant to build it, covered about 30%.
They're closing it down.
Yeah. Let's see.
They are closing it down.
4,000 acres and uses 350,000 mirrors mounted on more than 170,000 heliostats. Heliostats. I know I saw that fucking number in here.
So yeah, the same. It was 2.29 billion. No, keep down. Unintended consequences. You can say how many birds were killed. 6,000. I think it's 6. I keep going. Scroll down a little bit more.
You're delayed. You're. I'm sorry. I'm ahead of you. But that's right. No, you're good.
So they basically were frying these birds in midair, and
it's like a magnifying glass with ants.
Yeah,
but it's just with birds.
And I mean, some of these birds are endangered, but thousands of birds are killed each year. I want to tell you, if a power plant, a coal plant, a refinery was killing 6,000 birds a year, the environmentalists would go out of their freaking minds. But this has green wrapped around it, called green. There's nothing really green about it.
Yeah, they use that fucking word, that catchphrase.
The boondoggle, $2.29 billion, because we wanted to feel good and we wanted to do something. And the Obama administration's like, yeah, go ahead, build it. And I mean, what a blight upon the land out there. Now it's desert. Who gives a shit, right? But I mean, it's still a blight. And so someone's got to pay now to take all that crap down, all those mirrors down. What the hell are they going to do with all that shit?
Yeah, what do you do with it?
It's going to end up in a landfill somewhere?
It's like all the Ford trucks that were sitting down at Kentucky Speedway because they didn't have the fucking chip. And all those things were just garbage.
Remember that? I do remember that.
I drove by it. I saw it. I was like, fuck, I wonder if I can
the old Kentucky Speedway. It's not even open anymore.
I wonder if I get a good deal on that.
Well, if you have the chip.
But guess what? Now we have chips.
Wow.
Which is weird. And we're actually going to have I don't know if it's open yet or not, the one in Ohio.
No, I don't think it is.
I don't think it's open.
I don't think it's open yet.
I knew there was a number in here that I wanted to grab, but I'm probably not going to find it.
Well, I mean, the deal is, and so if you've ever driven from Chicago.
Oh, here you go. Here's where your clean comes in. The plants burn natural gas to support daily startup and operations, producing roughly 25,000 to 30,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide annually, roughly equivalent to the emissions from several thousand U.S. homes.
Here's the deal. So if you drive from Indy to Chicago, as you're getting closer to Chicago by the pig shit farms, there's fields and fields and fields of windmills. And each windmill, I forget the number. First of all, the base of those things is humongous, right? So the amount of concrete and steel that they've used to create the base that holds the tower, because think of the lateral force on that thing.
Right.
Secondly, you've got the material used in manufacturing the windmill itself, the blades, which don't last forever, blah, 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 blah. They've only now been, I think the new blades are slightly recyclable, but back in the day, the first ones, they had to just bury in landfills. They were useless. They couldn't recycle the blades because they develop cracks, they weaken, they have to replace the blades. But besides that, the amount of gallons, and I mean gallons, hundreds of gallons per unit that they have to lubricate the thing with what? Oil. I'm like, there's nothing green about this, folks. I mean, it's not green. You know what's green? By the time you factor in infrastructure costs of manufacturing, transporting, construction, blah, 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 blah. Plus, I personally think, I don't know your feelings on it, but I personally think when I see those giant windmills, I mean, to me, they look like blight. They just do. They look like blight. There's nothing green about it. They kill birds too. I read a story that said to avoid killing birds with windmills, all they had to do was paint the fucking blades black and the birds would be able to see it better. Apparently that's too difficult for these people to do.
And guess what you're using?
Paint.
I
know, but I mean, they're going to paint it white or black. So I mean, all they had to do is paint the blades black, and they'd save birds. But people are, and I'm not supposed to be, and I'm the one concerned about birds because I'm a sportsman and I've hunted. You're like, well, you kill birds, yes, but I appreciate the bird. I don't discount the life of the bird. Mm-hmm. So who's the real environmentalist here, and who's not? Who's just the person driving their Prius? And I love that people. I don't have anything against electric car drivers per se. What bugs me the most is the way they kind of have this air of superiority around them. I think they're cool cars. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're quiet. They're faster than snot. They're quick. The range is the issue for me. That's why I won't drive one. But what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't drive around being like, I'm better than you because I'm saving the environment. Well, and are you really saving the environment, or are you just outsourcing the pollution from coming out of your tailpipe to coming out of an electric plant so many miles away?
I don't know if you know this answer, and if anybody in the chat knows the answer, but you're seeing all these solar farms going up.
I commented on that.
How much energy?
I don't know what they
does it produce, and I just don't know, and I haven't looked it up. So
if you're near Cincinnati, and the only reason, so Brown County, Piercetown, or Brown County, Adams County.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm driving out there the other day, a week ago. Did I talk about this?
No, I don't think so.
Sometime driving.
Maybe you did. I don't know.
Maybe I did. I don't know. So forgive me. Driving out there the other day, and we're in beautiful rolling hills farmland, right? Corn, soybeans, farmland, beautiful farmland. What do I see? Fields and fields of freaking solar panels, all made in China. And I'm like, what the actual fuck is this? All subsidized by my tax dollars. Okay. And I think they're ugly. And the reason that they're doing it, and I do not blame the farmer. Farming is a noble profession. It's a noble calling. But guess what? Farmers are not usually rich.
Correct.
Farmers work harder than anybody else. Farmers bust their ass to feed America. They are the least appreciated commodity that we have in this country is the farmer. People look, for some reason, they look down their nose. Farmers and ranchers, people are like, oh, you're a farmer? Well, who gives a shit? Dude, nobody works harder than the farmer. Nobody. I don't care who you are. Nobody works harder than the rancher. So if a farmer makes, if an energy company like CVG, not CVG, but Duke or Cincinnati Power and Gas, or pick any energy company, comes along with them and says, hey, Bill, I'm going to pay you $10 an acre to plant solar panels on your farm. And Bill's like, well, fuck, I can only make $4 an acre if I grew corn or soybean. Of course he's going to take that. But
right.
what the problem is my tax dollars are subsidizing that $10 an acre because the company's getting a government subsidy to go green under the prior administration. And I think it's a blight on the land. They're ugly. And I've had people tell me, locals have told me it alters the microclimate around these freaking giant fields of black solar panels reflecting the heat back. And it's a freaking problem. And I also have read, and I would like people to chirp in if they want, that if these panels get broken, okay, like a hailstorm, whatever, if enough of them, and I've seen videos of mass damage during a hailstorm because they crack. Mm-hmm. What happens is the heavy metals in there inside these panels then leach into the soil, and that's it. They pollute the soil. By themselves being there, I don't think they pollute the soil. But if they leach, once it's compromised, they leach into the soil, and then you have forever chemicals in your farmland, and you can't use it anymore. So,
and they're talking about too, like these data centers that they're trying to put in these different places. And a friend of mine who lives down in Kentucky, they're trying to put one in, and they did the numbers that it will increase the ambient temperature, these data centers, the ambient temperature around, like for a big radius around this data center.
Why?
Up 60 or 16 degrees.
Why?
Because of all the electricity and shit that they're fucking using and producing.
Oh, so the thing creates, so that's why. So my problem with data centers, number one, is that,
and I know it's two different things, but these are both environmental things.
The problem I have with data centers is this. Number one, we do need them because Jason makes lots of fake videos, and we're going to see one here in a bit. But my problem with data centers is they need to be evaluated to the point where, number one, they have to create, my feeling is they have to create their own electricity. They can't be a drain on the grid. Okay.
Which I think is one of the stipulations when they build these.
I'm totally fine with that. But the other issue that I have with them that I've read many articles about is the drain on the water supply. Water is a precious
The water
commodity.
supply is huge.
So apparently, for some reason, and I don't know why, they can only use like a single pass-through cooling system. So the water comes up, goes through the circuits, cools the shit down, and then it's discharged. And I don't understand why they can't use cooling towers to cool the water back down and reuse it to cool again, the way power plants do.
Right.
Which is why some countries are experimenting with putting these data centers underwater, like off the coast. So in Norway and whatnot, now they're putting them in the fjords where the water's colder than shit, and they just sink these, these computers down into the ocean, run cables to them, and that keeps them cool and whatever. I'm sure it raises the temperature of the water, but whatever. I've got a problem with that because drinking water is fresh water is a huge commodity.
It's a necessity.
It's a necessity. Nashville, I think Nashville or Knoxville, there's a data center by there, and one of these places is using I want to say, I'm using a round number here, but it's like 1.5 million gallons a day that they're just using and then dumping into the water supply, into the creek. Well, number one, I don't know what they're treating. I don't know what chemicals or what metals it might be picking up by passing through the circuits or the computers. And maybe it's nothing. I don't know. I've heard it's not. I've heard there have been tests done downstream that it's polluting the water. But the other thing is it's actually you're taking cool water out of the ground and dumping warm water into a creek. That creates some issues for the environment as well.
There's an imbalance.
And if I had done it, in my industry, you're like, well, what do you know? You were a dry cleaner. Well, I'll tell you what I know. Is in dry cleaning, it's a closed loop system. Basically, we took in a chemical and fluid that we used to clean the clothes, and we recycled it. And all we exported out was waste that was hauled off by like a waste handler and then disposed of.
Like a Clean Harbors type thing.
Yeah. And so we didn't put anything out in the environment. Well, just because this is a data center, why do they get to dump chemicals that might be contaminating the water into the ground, into a creek? Why do they get to use millions of gallons a freaking year or a day? I don't even know how many millions of gallons they use, but they use a lot of water, and it's a single pass system. So I think they need to work kind of the bugs out. And if they can produce their own power and sell the excess to the grid and maybe supplement the power supply in this country, I don't have a problem with the power usage, but I think they do need to address the water usage. And if they do increase the ambient temperature 16 degrees, that's a lot,
and it's a huge radius. Like, it's not just right outside the building. Like, it's
so these things are just giant freaking heaters,
furnaces. Yeah. So it's
and
I never heard.
Also, you can make your fake videos.
What's that?
Also, you can make your little fake videos.
Exactly.
How do you feel now?
I feel good.
You feel good?
I feel good about
okay,
it. Speaking of fake videos. Speaking of fake videos. Well, no, we got a sponsor first.
Oh,
it's
not fake.
A fake video you made.
Every 2 minutes, a child enters foster care in America. Behind each statistic is a face, a story, and often a heartbreaking message. It's not my fault. The Varner Foundation for Children and Families was created in 2020 to change this reality. They don't just raise awareness about the foster care crisis, they take action. When local agencies can't meet a child's need, the Varner Foundation steps in. From providing essential resources to foster families to supporting children who've experienced trauma, they're building a network of hope. Every donation, every partnership, every act of support creates ripples of healing in a child's life. These aren't just statistics, they're futures being restored. One child at a time. Visit varnerfoundation.org and be the difference in a child's life, where 100% of all donations go directly to families in need. 100%. Because every child deserves to know you matter, you're valued, and it's not your fault.
Our friends at the Varner Foundation, they are amazing. They definitely help us out. We try to help them out as much as we can, going to different fundraising events for them. And it's a great organization. And if you feel so inclined, go to the varnerfoundation.org.
Dan Varner is a great guy.
Most of the time. He
no,
is.
it's if 513 had a germane and actually useful comment, which is rare. It's not just AI, it's all your streaming and social media centers use the data centers too. I did not know that.
I don't disagree.
I know that on like, so now, God, what was it on? I mean, even now,
and we're not even we weren't even blasting the data centers. So we were just talking about like what it does, the impacts. I think we need them.
I think we need them, but they need to be. I mean, we need. I don't want to find out we built all these. Well, so for example, you mentioned the chip deal. Everyone's like, we need chip plants, we need chip plants, we need chip plants. So they broke all this ground, government subsidies on all these chip plants. Then they're like, a lot of these places are like, oh, well, now we've kind of oversupplied it. And they're so you've seen the brakes put on.
We've got
chip
plenty
plants.
of chips.
And so the data centers, I think, are needed. But like on my phone now, there was like something popped up even on my iPhone. It was like, I have an AI option, right? So when I ask a question of Google, half the time it goes through AI. I'm like, I'm just asking Google. And I'm like, okay, I guess it's everybody's using AI. Everybody's
Oh,
using,
yeah.
I call a number. And the call centers are all AI. So, hey, listen, I think we need smart. I would like to see smart. If it costs a company a little more money to recycle their water, I don't think that's asking too much. Just because they're AI, I don't think they should get special treatment that we need AI for the sake of AI. I mean, if you want to watch fake porn, that's your business. I mean, and just I don't think that it's worth drinking water. I don't know if you'd be drinking water for people or drinking water to cool an AI chip. I'm going to lean on the people side.
Well, in the way the technology has progressed, and I will agree with Cincy that you have more people putting more of a strain on the internet than we did in the past.
God, who's not on the internet?
Right. Well, and you have every business. He's a small business owner. He uses the internet, so he needs the data centers too.
Could you imagine?
Because we're all pulling. Everybody's
pulling. I mean, think about. I mean, I know some people are like, well, you know, for example, my older brother uses a flip phone. He's weird, but
he's weird.
He's on the internet. I mean, he is. I don't know anyone. I can't think of anyone I know that is literally not on the. Actually, that's not true. Frank Wettenkamp is my World War II veteran on the west side of Cincinnati. He is not on the internet. He is not on the internet and does not.
And you'll have those
outliers.
that handful of people,
but
every business utilizes it.
Everything goes through the internet nowadays.
So yeah, so it's pulling. So I'm not in disagreement. We're not.
But we need smart. You know, we need smart.
We're really bitching about the way it's fucking being done,
and we need people that are not. Look, this is on both sides of the aisle. This is cuts across. This is politics in general. I mean, we're at least in this subject. I don't want somebody that's beholden to a giant donation from Google to be like, yeah, we should be pushing these data centers because Google needs another data center. Well, if Google's using, you know, a million gallons of water a day, a week, a year, whatever, I'd be like, look, Google, you could figure out if the plant costs you $1 million to build, and I'm using low numbers, or it costs you 1.5 million, and you can recycle your water, then God damn it, recycle your water. A small business, Cincy's business, my business, we wouldn't have been allowed to dump shit into the environment and harm the environment.
Yeah.
It's just not, you know, we should all be on equal footing here, and just data centers for data centers' sake. And let me say this, there's a candidate, this one guy that's running for governor, and he's on the Republican ballot. He's running against Vivek. He's Mr. Anti-data center. But on the flip side, I don't think that's the answer either. I mean, I think there needs to be smart data centers, and I don't think that data centers for their own, and maybe they could take some of these chip plants that are not going to be finished now and turn them into data centers. Maybe that's a good answer.
Yeah.
But, you know, like you said, farmland for, you know, I'm on the same thing, farmland for solar panels. We have so many roofs in the United States. Every office building has a roof. Every warehouse has a roof. Every house has a roof. Why can we not turn those into solar arrays rather than taking farmland, fertile farmland that we need to grow food, that was growing food, or feeding cattle, raising livestock? Why do we turn those that use, because they don't ever take, you know, scrub land. They take easy to develop land that's already cleared, relatively flat, easy to get to, and that's the shit they do.
So he said
it goes back into the system. Yeah, I mean, I will say that, but my point is, I've read a lot of, no, the water doesn't disappear. It's discharged into creeks. Mm-hmm. It's discharged into the environment. And I've read that downstream from that, they've tested the water, and there's been high levels of heavy metals. I don't know if it's lithium. I don't know what it is, but I've read that the water that is used for the cooling system of the data centers becomes tainted in some fashion that it should, you know, you're not, I'll put it this way. you ain't gonna want to go drink a cup of it. So,
oh, and the funny thing is, like with that, I can't take like expired drugs, like whether it's epinephrine or lidocaine,
and flush it down the toilet
and put it down the sink. We used to be able to do that.
Used to be able to do that.
The EPA
and they
came
found,
in and said,
well,
nope.
They found it was doing what? Just getting into the water.
Yeah, it was
supply.
getting into the groundwater,
Yeah.
and what that's doing. I mean, fuck, I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but it's not natural. So now we have to buy these fucking jugs.
Yeah,
essentially kitty litter, really. But you have to spend a lot of money to get them. It can take a lot, but that's where we have to squirt all our medication.
You're talking about the liquid drugs.
Yeah.
But
before it was we got expired drugs, just throw them down the sink. Well, then the EPA came in and said no, you can't do that anymore.
Well, I mean,
but it's all a money grab, one way, shape, or form. The EPA is getting paid. The company that I have to buy that shit from, or whoever has to buy that, I don't buy it anymore. But
and your funding comes from taxpayers.
Yeah. So it all comes out in the fuck.
It's all costing us.
It all comes around.
But speaking of AI,
oh yeah,
Jay. Now let's be fair. I want to preface this for a second, just for a second. We in no way, shape, or form is this something that we condone. Whatever. It's kind of harsh on the language, but it is Jason's point to this video. You don't mind me saying this,
no,
right?
Go ahead.
It is amazing in the very short period that people have been messing around with AI, like just a year ago, maybe 6 months ago. You could really tell when something was fake, okay? And you could be like, holy cow. Now, and God, what's it going to be like in another year? God knows. I mean, we'd probably be fake.
I mean, there's parts of this you can tell are fake, but it's just funny, like the ability that people have to make these videos and images.
And how much water and electricity does this take? I don't know.
Hopefully we don't get hit because there is music, but there's talking behind it. So hopefully,
you tell me.
I don't know. It's all a crapshoot. I'm used to getting in.
We are probably, and Tyler, you're probably right. We are probably we're probably, you know what, we're probably way late. But one thing I will say this AI crap, these data center crap. So one thing it has done, at least under this administration, has spurred the conversation to modular nuclear facilities, which I think are key to the future of this country. I mean, I saw a GE nuke plant, a nuke facility, modular nuke that was literally could fit in the back of your pickup truck.
Oh, shit.
Seriously, you can fit in the back of your pickup truck. I don't know how many megawatts it produced, but that's where the technology is going. They don't produce, the radiation is not an issue. It ran for so many, its design life is so many years. They're taking, up in Alaska, they're taking these mod nukes because they're not available for commercial. They're not ready for prime time commercially yet, but for the military, they are. They're taking diesel plants offline up in Alaska for military bases, and they're putting mod nukes in. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's amazing where we're going.
This is a pretty cool video.
So it's funny. So for all our Marine brethren out there, I'm not a Marine, but I share the birthday of the Marines. So I have to go drink with my Marine buddies on my birthday with them. Darn it, it's terrible. Sometimes it ends up terrible, but this is hilarious. So for the audio listeners, it's going to have a bunch of famous people AI'd into this. Pete Hegseth, Chuck Norris, Steven Seagal, Sylvester Stallone, Schwarzenegger. Absolutely fucking hysterical. So if you're listening audio, once I put this up, go back and go to YouTube and watch the end part of this show at least, because this is great.
The Marines started at a bar in Philly called Tun Tavern during the Revolutionary War, and this place was straight fire.
Excuse me, are you Samuel Nicholas, the owner of this joint?
Damn right it is. How can I help you?
You need some badass motherfuckers that are definitely not pussies.
I've got just the crew you're looking for right over there.
Oh shit! I didn't even notice Eddie or Carl Weathers.
Oh, that's crazy.
Okay, that's fucking awesome. We'll take them all.
And just like that, the Continental Congress authorized the Marines in 1775, made Sam Nicholas their founding captain, who recruited America's most badass motherfuckers straight out of bars like Tun Tavern. And these dudes were always down for crazy ass shit. When ships got close enough, they jumped onto enemy ships like a bunch of psychos, just to have fun and kill some redcoat dirtbag. After the Revolutionary War, the Marines were disbanded.
Oh, come on!
It's over.
Nothing is over! But then, just like today, a bunch of dirty, ugly, illegal African pirate thieves were pissing us off. So guess who was called back? Hoorah! The motherfucking Marines. Only 7 Marines and some wannabe mercenaries crossed 500 miles of African desert to attack the pirates on their home turf during the Barbary Wars.
Now, if you want to see the rest of this video, you must subscribe. You will support History Dad because he has 2 kids and a smoking hot wife who's totally out of his league. This retard needs so much help. He's making subscription videos on Instagram.
Hoorah! The Marines.
I gotta tell you, that's gonna.
Oh, we gotta hit your girl before we go too. Remember?
Oh yeah. So
we
so
don't want to miss out on that.
The
As we dial it down, we're gonna come back to you Wednesday after this, but Wednesday evening at some point, probably 5-ish maybe. But we got one last story. It's local, but we have locals that listen and watch. You gonna fucking do this? Or you gonna fucking do that?
I was texting somebody.
I know you were.
So
I know exactly what you were doing.
Here's the deal. Elections have consequences, and we've mentioned that a lot of times. We have a liberal school board here in Anderson Township. It's run by 5 Democrats, and they appointed a new school board member, and or school board superintendent. And I'm not bashing her directly per se, but I find it curious that if you do a web search on her, she's a registered Democrat, and that's been brought up. But they say that they say, oh no, they said no, she was the best qualified candidate. This is and this supposedly a community input. Well, turns out somebody else posted this. This is what's the date on that? 2019, 6 years ago. I can't see from here.
What are we looking at?
The date on this picture right there. Is it 2019? I think it is.
Let's see. I don't see the date.
It's right there, right next to it. It is. Yeah. So in 2019,
that
she
one.
updated
The flag. Okay.
She updated her profile picture, and I just asked. It begs the question for me. It begs the question for. So this is your new superintendent in Anderson Township. Takes office in
August 1st.
My question is, if she had posted a MAGA flag on her profile, do you think our school board? I ask you, Jason, if she had posted a MAGA flag on her profile, do you think our very impartial, supposedly the best candidate looking school board would have appointed her for the job?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely
And I'm just
not.
calling it out. I mean, I'm kind of tired of the shit. We had it's not, I don't have a problem with people saying, hey, listen, we're doing this because she's one of us and we agree with her politics and we think she aligns with our values. So this is who we're appointing. But they stroke you and they're like, no, this is the best candidate for the job. I've even had people say, seen comments on the page, I'm a conservative and I know her and she might be the greatest person. I don't know. But I just asked a rhetorical question. If she was a conservative and posted MAGA on her personal Facebook page, changed her profile picture to a picture of Donald J. Trump, would our 5 Democrat school boards have hired her to be superintendent? And I will submit to you, not a chance in hell. So if you want to piss on me and tell me it's raining, do it all day long. But I know you're pissing on me. So have at it. Enjoy. This is the direction your schools are going to go in here in wonderful Forest Hills School District. And you enjoy it. You elect clowns. Enjoy the circus. And that's my point.
Absolutely.
So that's part of why you should be involved. That's why Tuesday is an important day. Get involved. This is school board races are supposed to be nonpartisan, but here in Anderson, due to the actions of the Democrat Party in the past by endorsing Leslie Rasmussen for office the first time she ran, since that date, they've become very, very partisan. I think around the nation, they've become very partisan. We've seen where back during the Biden administration, the Department of Justice was investigating parents that threatened or at least went and spoke at, not necessarily threatened, but offered opposition to liberal school boards. I'm concerned about it because
you ended up on a fucking watch list.
You did. And they declared you, basically domestic terrorists. And look, I don't have kids, and I wouldn't comment on it if your fist wasn't up my rectum, grabbing my tax dollars and shoving them down these schools
every
single time. And the largest, if you go on your tax bill and you see where the dollars go. And I have people confused here locally. They said, hey, listen, I see my tax bill, but I see a large portion of money going to Anderson Township. Well, Anderson Township holds the school districts harmless from the TIF. So every frickin' month, the Anderson Township writes a check to the Forest Hills School District for TIF dollars that were withheld from them through TIF. So we keep them whole as if the TIF didn't exist. And that's a whole, I don't even want to get into discussion on that. My point is the amount of dollars, if you put it a percentage, the vast amount of your dollars, only like 19 cents under Republican leadership, went to the township. I don't know what it's going to be like under Democrats, but I will tell you that the vast amount of your tax dollars go to support public schools. And we do have, there's a petition. I'm not going to get into it, but they're talking about eliminating property taxes for schools here, property taxes in general in Ohio. I don't know that I support that. I think it's a noble goal. I think they should definitely work for it. But I think if you eliminated property taxes, I think it'd be freaking pandemonium.
You lose all your public services.
Well, you don't lose.
You're going to lose your fire. You're going to lose your fire and police that are based on levy.
I don't think you'd lose them. I think they'd be an emergency to shift it to some other.
You're going to have to find that money somewhere.
Oh yeah, no, it would. That's why I'm saying I don't think that's something. I think it's a noble goal.
And for these smaller communities that that are smaller than Anderson Township or whatever, these smaller communities.
Oh,
the no property tax is going to fuck them completely.
Well, that's why I think it's a goal to work towards, but I don't think it's a Band-Aid you can rip off. Right. Meaning I don't think it's something you can just flip the switch and say, right, property taxes are now gone. I think it would cause, like you just said, a lot of pandemonium. And I think it's something that we should probably work towards to transfer, to find a better,
you supplement money here to here and you can figure it out. I mean, there is a solution in there. It's just taking them away completely.
I have a big problem when you raise property taxes every time a levy comes up, which is a tax. They like to say levy here, but it's a tax. And they're like, well, it's only $100,000. It's only $100 per 100,000. I'm like, well, my house is worth more than $100,000. Most houses here are. I don't know many $100,000 houses in Anderson Township. And if you're a retiree, you're triple fucked. Right. Because number one, there's a pretty good chance that your house is worth, you've been in your house 40, 50 years. It's appreciated quite a bit. It's worth a lot of money, right? Mm-hmm. And just from inflation for the most part. But you're on a fixed income. So you have $100,000. I mean, I'm just using the numbers here, but you have $1,000 coming in a month. And somebody comes along and sticks their hand in your wallet for an extra $100 a month. That's 10%. That's a lot.
Yeah.
My point is that's a lot of money out of your budget, and you got to sit there and go, okay, am I eating PB&J, or can I have meat every once in a while? Right. Not like you're going to Jeff Ruby's every night.
And here's the thing, especially you bring up the fixed incomes. They don't. Not everybody gets a cost of living increase on their fixed income, but guess what? Those levies that $100 on 100,000, the next time it's 150 on 100,000.
And these people are,
and it never stops.
I've got, not to be too personal, but I see it firsthand in my neighborhood. There's a couple of retirees in my neighborhood, and I can see the look in their faces. They're like, look, I don't know how much longer I can live here. I'm being taxed out of the township. So I do understand the need for tax reform, property tax reform. I don't know that, like I said, I don't know. I do feel for these people, and I hate the fact that we're definitely what we're doing is we're pushing our seniors and our fixed income. We're almost saying fuck off. We don't want.
You're actually pushing. It's not even them. You're pushing everybody out.
You're pushing everybody out, and you're like, well, you don't know what you're doing, so you shouldn't live here anymore.
I know 3 people in this neighborhood that are fucking moving out.
For taxes
that aren't on fixed income, but because it's becoming too expensive.
Yeah, and that's a problem.
Yeah,
that's a problem. So I will say that, like I said, it's a noble goal, but I think we need tax reform, and that's another reason I support Vivek, because I think he acknowledges the fact that, and he does want to do tax reform, but he's not a supporter directly. He thinks it's a noble goal to work towards to get to, the elimination, to a stair step to eliminate property taxes. But I think he's enough of a realist to say it's not something we can do overnight. It's going to cause mass pandemonium.
Yep, absolutely.
And you can hate me for that. I don't really care. Do I care?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't like
He
me?
definitely doesn't care.
Get in line. I really could give two shits.
I'm not sure when Dano's
How
coming
could
back.
you not like me?
I don't know. I don't know if he's
I'm
back
serious.
Wednesday
How-
or Thursday.
How could somebody just be like, I don't like that guy? I mean, come on. Even 513, I think. 513, let's be honest. I know you like me. You just hate yourself because you like me.
Oh,
That's the problem.
That's why. That's exactly why. We'll be coming back to you Wednesday evening, probably 5-ish. We'll
that's fine.
We'll hammer out a time, and I'll throw it out on Instagram and Facebook to keep you posted. We'll play it on Wednesday evening, and hopefully Dano has a great trip, and we get him back here soon. That way he can take up some of Andrew's room.
Dano, let's get some sun.
Yeah, come back tan.
I want to see your tan lines.
Hopefully, I hope he's golfing.
You think he wears a Speedo to the pool?